I really love this emote, guys. Hi guys and welcome back. And I'm Ash and today I've completed the new minor draft challenge and it's a draft challenge. It's a bit difficult, but I think we can do it if we have correct draft choices, although some matchups are really bad. So let me just take this sweet minor emote right now and then I'm gonna give you some tips on how to complete the minor draft challenge. Alright, let me see. This is it. This is okay. Let me just turn the volume on. Okay, so the volume right. Okay, let me just raise it a bit, and yeah, just listen to this. I really love this emote, guys. Mine is one of my favorite cards alongside the Three Musketeers, and I really wanted a good minor emote from a very long time, and now Supercell did it, and I'm really happy. So back to the challenge. How do we complete this challenge? So there are basic tips to know about playing draft challenges. Okay, let's actually start with this. I'm gonna tell you them. So while picking up the cards, always remember to have one win condition. Like here, I choose minor here because I needed a win condition, and I didn't choose graveyard just because he has Goblin Gang, which can counter graveyard easily if I didn't have any supportive spell too. So there why I choose minor there. Next on, I choose log. That's because log can counter Goblin Gang easily. So basically, when you're just selecting cards in draft, just make sure to have a win condition. Select cards that counter their cards or help support your push, and that's basically the main things for the draft. And right now I choose freeze, and that's because I didn't wanted to give him freeze, because if he have graveyard freeze he could take my tower in one push and it will be really difficult to counter push and take his tower, because freeze is good on defense too. So I didn't wanted to give him such a good deck, so I choose freeze instead of fireball. That was the main aim for choosing freeze. Anyways, let's watch this match. Alright, he goes with a goblin barrel and I had a log which was straight up. Now I cycle ice spirit and use a bandit so I didn't take any damage from the goblins. And he used a giant on the bridge. I have the skeleton army, so really easy. I use a miner in the back. So he have archers, so he successfully stopped Skami from taking any damage to the tower. But the miner chipped away almost 250 damage of the tower. Okay, so now I have known that he has giant graveyard, archers, and goblin gang. Obviously, the four cards that I gave him and the four cards he have shown to us. So I was feeling really confident in this matchup because the fireball isn't really good with graveyard. If he had poison in that case, it would have been really easy for him to win, because all I had was spam units and I really go hard on this push, but didn't something didn't happen because he fireballed all at once and the bandit was stopped by sap goblins easily. Okay, so let's just complete this matchup fast. I have other matchups to show you. a miner, and minions push. I'll wait for the Valkyrie for Goblin Gang there, and this is the point. If you see, his fireball wasn't even killing the skeleton army completely, so I was in very big advantage as the graveyard wasn't taking any much of damage, and my skeleton army was also surviving, and I have a huge counter push coming on to him. So yeah, it took time, but moreover, it was a GG. It's an overtime victory. And again, I dropped the skeleton army. He tried to fireball it, but he wouldn't get all of it at once, which was really giving us value there. And now I had the freeze. I haven't used the freeze the whole match. And the moment I freeze, he knew it was a good game because he didn't have anything much in the hand. So yeah, it is the good game. All right. So let's move forward to next match. Okay, this one. This matchup is really difficult for me. I had just one air targeting unit and he had a really full-fledged deck, to be honest, but he wasn't playing that good. Well, let's see. Okay, so the main aim of me selecting skeleton army over skeletons is skeleton army is gonna give me a good value on defense if he doesn't have a good thing to kill it, like a zap, log, barbarian barrel, arrows, etc. So I picked skeleton army. Although skeleton army doesn't make much of a difference, I could have gone for skeletons too. Okay, the reason I choose Expo in this matchup was Expo can chip out Babhat too if he placed it in front. And Expo is also a win condition. Our first thing to get remember for a draft challenge is always pick a win condition. So I was having a win condition too, and I can also chip away his barbarian it if he places it in the middle. So yeah. Next up was earthquake. I choose earthquake because if he had earthquake, then my expo would be of no use. Plus, the earthquake also helps me take care of his barbarian hut. So that was the main motive of selecting earthquake. Now moving on, I have a hunter and a bowler, and I choose for the bowler. Although I thought the hunter would have been really good because I didn't have any air controlling card like for an air defense, but bowler works out good with exposed too. Uh, but if you want to go with choice between hunter and bowler and you don't have an air defense, go for the hunter. Anyways, let's just watch this matchup. Okay, so I was really angry with the matchup I have. I don't have much, and he have the witch, and I don't have a big spell. And there he goes with the first RG. So I was thinking what to do. If I use skeleton army right away, the witch would kill it. So I put a miner right on the witch and then a skeleton army on royal giant. Like here, the witches got destroyed by the miner, and the skeleton army will take care easily of the royal giant. There goes. And the main aim of this match for me was to protect the flying machine because he also didn't have a big spell, and the flying machine gave us really good value in this matchup. And the only air card which I really need to cycle back fastly when I knew he had balloon and he was getting really aggressive with balloons. So yeah, I'll use the knight and a goblin barrel. So he had arrows, but a flying machine chip away really good. He actually had to use the hunter for it, and I again used flying machine. At this point, he also knew that I didn't have much for the balloons. I mean, an air card, and my only air card was the flying machine. So he played nice, and I might have to go for a tower trade afterwards that. I was a bit late with the miner, and he also used his balloon in the back. And here at this point, I knew I hadn't much in my hand, and I need to cycle back to my flying machine in order to kill the balloon. So I used Muskami on the right, just to bait out his arrows hopefully and use the knight for lumberjack. Still my flying machine is one card away, so I need to use goblin barrel. And if we use arrows on Skami, I'm gonna use goblin barrel on the tower. Hopefully this might be, and this might end up being a tower trade, which I'm okay with, as we are soon going to approach the double elixir and we can still manage to survive in double elixir. Alright, so he didn't arrow smash Kami, but he took a lot of damage. And I used the Goblin Barrel in order to get back to the flying machine right here. But it was already a tower with the balloon. So there's nothing much we can do at this point. But both of his towers are really low. And the only thing in my mind right now was to get back to my flying machine as soon as possible, because his cycle was fast and he can get back to balloon, and I was scared of being 3 crown. So here goes. I use the minor drake on one tower, and here goes again with the balloon. I cycle back to my flying machine. So I use a goblin barrel. We did get a. I use the expo in the middle so that if he even tries to balloon, the balloon get pulled by the expo. But he also have a RG and I forgot at this point. So I wasn't taking the tower too early, which caused it to become a three crown game. There goes the hunter got taken off, but the balloon took the shot off, and the tower was on 24. And he goes with the RG, and there wasn't much I could do at this point. So it was basically just 3 crown race, or what we call it, the base race. Yeah, this it is. We need to take out a base race, and I thought I need to be aggressive at this point, because if it goes with the balloon again, there isn't much I could do. And Java was really low here at 473 hit points, and he was also ready with the balloon to drop. That's why I go with immediately Skami and Flying Machine, hoping that Flying Machine would lock on the King Tower and would get me the victory. And he did drop the Hunter, but he also used arrows, which helped my Goblin Barrel Miner to take the tower easily. Okay, let's go back and let's just review one more match, and hopefully, okay, let's see. Okay, let's watch this one. Okay, bandit or ghost, anything is good. Both are of 3 elixirs and both can be used offensive as well as defensive. Bandit is more of a pressure card though, but it's fine. And next up I'll take the goblins, because goblins are high DPS units and can stop really many cards. So it would be good on the defense rather than the skeletons. Next up I'll take the golem. Golem is a big tank and really reliable, and executioner is the new card which has been buffed. So I felt really good having executioner in the deck. So let's go. Okay, at the start of the match, mine in the safe spot and then his spot would be good. At the start, you don't know what your opponent is having, so putting it in anti-Nero position is the best move. But he goes with a royal ghost in the back, so I knew if I go with minor goblins, it would be good. Although I knew he had Valkyrie, so it would bait out his Valkyrie too. And here I go with minor and goblins, and he used Valkyrie. So now I needed a defense for the Royal Ghost, and I use Barret. It's a 3 for 3 trade, and it will completely do any damage from the Ghost. And for the Valkyrie, I have Executioner in the hand. Okay, so Executioner after the emergency buff, I suppose, before the emergency nerf, is kind of okay right now. Okay, so he pumped up, and I had Earthquake in the hand, so really good for us. and we got some really nice damage from Executioner. Now, I didn't know he had RG, so I was waiting a hold, and I used Minor defensively for the Ghost. Now, as I use Valkyrie in the back, I used the Expo on the right, but here, first time I see the Royal Giant, so that's fine. So we just need to use Bandit to counter the Valkyrie, and we can use Stab Goblins for the Royal Giant, as because he had Zap and Zap doesn't kill Stab Goblins. It was almost even at this point in the match, but still, I know that I was up in Elixir. I'll go with the Golem in the right, which might end up favoring us because he pumps up. I don't know why he pumped, because we had the Earthquake, so it's like really stupid to pump up again after we have Earthquake and in Cycle 2. Okay, so he goes with a Ghost, and Skeletons was doing a really good job defending that one, but the Executioner is really OP, man. The Executioner took out Valkyrie really easily. Now he's forced to use the Royal Giant on his defense. Now here I try to save my Executioner from Royal Ghost with the Miner, because Executioner is really low-key OP and we need to save him. Now I'm just basically cycling cards because I knew I have Earthquake, and Earthquake can take the tower easily. So it's just basically defense for 24 more seconds. So he's trying to go aggressive right at the bridge again and again. And I use the Expo to stop the Royal Giant. Although Expo managed to survive and Expo takes the tower, man. Expo is OP. Okay, we got the tower, and that was a BM Earthquake. Never mind though. That's easy. So basically, these are the tips you want to remember for the draft challenge. You always have a win condition, cards to either counter them or make your push successful, and then you need to play with your minds. Sometimes it's really tough. I know I lost 2 times in a row because of that, but it's draft. We can't do anything rather than that. So yeah, guys, this is the emote one more time, and it's going to be my favorite emote right now. So yeah, that's it for today, and I hope to see you in the next season tournament maybe. So bye guys.
And now I know